Coloring books just like these have made me thousands of dollars a month.
Girl, touch a neighbor and say passive income. If you're thinking about becoming a self-published author, then you definitely want to have your book on Amazon as a way to generate passive income, in the sense where you are creating an asset one time, which is your book, and it can continue to make sales for you years and years to come. Also, when you self-publish to KDP, you don't have to worry about any customer service, and you don't have to worry about shipping because it's print on demand. So that means whenever a customer buys your book, Amazon prints that book and then ships it directly to the customer for you. So if you're trying to make extra money online, then publishing on KDP is one of the best ways to make that happen. Today, I'm going to be walking you through my process of selling coloring books on Amazon in 5 simple steps. All right, so beginning with step number 1, the first thing you want to do is niche research. This is where you're going to come up with a theme for your coloring book. Now, I use 2 parts for this, where I search within and without. Whenever I start trying to figure out what type of coloring book I want to publish or what theme I'm going for, I ask myself, what are you going through right now? Are there any challenges? Are there any obstacles? Is there anything that you've recently overcome yourself? What is your passion? What do you believe you're called to do? What is something that you actually have experience with doing? You know, your purpose in life. So you would just take that information and start listing it down on a sheet of paper or in your notes or whatever. Once you have that information, then you're going to start searching without. So then when I'm searching without, I start going to Amazon and I might start searching for best-selling coloring books, right? So I just want to see what's popular. And as you can see, once you start typing in, you see a drop down. So you have best-selling coloring books for kids, adults. And another reason that you want to go to places like Amazon and start searching for things is because when you looking on Amazon's drop-down menu, the drop-down menu is what tells you what other people have been already searching for. So this is important because you don't want to create something that is not feeling a need or a void. It's much easier for someone to buy something that they already want. For example, I was thinking back to this lady. She used to always have a trunk full of stuff. To her, it was great stuff and she wanted to sell this stuff and you needed to buy this stuff because it was so awesome. To everybody else, this stuff was junk. So listen, whenever you would see her coming, you'll be like, oh Lord, you would try to walk the other way because you knew she was going to try to sell you something from out of that trunk so she could make her some extra money, right? She always had to convince you of why you needed this product. And even after she spent time doing all that convincing, you still could not understand what you would need this product for or who you would be able to give this to if you were to buy it. So there would be no purpose of you buying that, right? But let's say you are traveling and it's about lunchtime, you're getting a little hungry, and as you're driving, you see the little sign that says McDonald's next exit 283. Your mouth starts watering. You already hungry because it's lunchtime. So you tell the people in the car, listen, y'all, we're going to go ahead and pull over on the next exit and fill up the tank and get a little something to eat from McDonald's. You see how easy that was? And McDonald's didn't have to call you. McDonald's didn't have to do nothing. All they had to do was put a sign in front of your face. You already wanted it, so it made sense to go ahead and stop at McDonald's. So you see the difference between someone actually forcing you to buy something that you have no need for versus how easy it was for you to get a burger when you're already hungry. That is essentially what you want to happen when you're creating your book. You want to fill a void, okay? So look for things that people already want to buy and then put your twist on it, your uniqueness, and make your book stand out. All right, and step number 2, once you have your theme for your book locked in, then you can go ahead and start deciding what type of content you want to go inside of your book. So all of my books tell some type of story. So this book, the title is called Happy and Healed. So as you can see, the type of images that I have inside of the book all relate to some type of wellness or something that relates to happiness in some type of way, right? I don't just publish random books and just throw things together. I actually sit down and think about what I'm going to put inside of the book. Now with this book, I actually use an illustrator. I talk all about it in the video that I'll link below. But of course, even with going through an illustrator, I had to know what type of images I wanted in the book. So I had to actually sit down and think about what the content was going to be. But now you can utilize tools like ChatGPT to come up with your book ideas. So for example, you can say something like, I want to create a Christmas coloring book. What type of images should I include? And then ChatGPT will actually break down some of the images that you can use inside of your book. Like, for example, Santa Claus, Christmas trees, snow scenes, Christmas ornaments, gifts and presents. So it can spark some ideas for you to start working with to get that content that you're going to include inside of the book. And then once you have the ideas for what type of images you're going to include, you can either hire an illustrator like I did, or you can continue to use AI tools like Midjourney for this part of the process. Now, Midjourney is a paid subscription. The lowest cost right now is about $10 a month, but you will create a Discord account and a Midjourney account to go ahead and get started. And then from there, you can take one of the ideas that ChatGPT gave you, and then you can head over to Midjourney and start typing in imagine, because every prompt has to start with imagine. And then you can just paste the prompt. And then for this one, we're pasting traditional images of Santa in different poses. But I'm going to update this and put traditional coloring, pages of African American Santa in different poses. As you can see, it gives us 4 images. 2 of them are colored. So of course I would not want to use those for my coloring book interior, but maybe on the cover or something like that. And then the 2 at the bottom are actually black and white images. And so perhaps I could use one of those if I like them. If I decide I like image 3 or number 4, let's say I like number 3, then I would click on U3. So that would upscale that image, and then I would be able to save the image that's upscaled and use that as one of the images in my coloring book. But generally, when you're trying to create coloring pages using sites like Midjourney, you're going to want to include the term coloring page and words like cute, bold, and easy line. That will generally give you more of a detailed outline coloring page that you'll be able to use inside of the book. Right, and step number 3, you're going to design the interior and the cover using Canva. So with KDP, you need 2 files, which is your interior file and your cover file. Both of those files need to be saved as PDF files. So when I'm creating my coloring books, I always use Canva to actually put the book together. So once I have my images that I'm going to use for the interior of the book, then I go ahead and start working with that in Canva, and I go ahead and just click on create a design, custom size, and then I would change this to inches. All of my coloring books are usually 8.5 by 11 inches. So I would just go ahead and create a design, and then I would start putting the book together. I usually include a this book belongs to section, a copyright page. Now, if you like this template and how I have the border around each of the pages, I actually have this template listed on my website where you can go and grab that template for your coloring book. But yeah, so I put all the pages together. All my books usually include 24 images. Sometimes I even include words, and I might do something like Inner Healing Matters. Then I'll go to Effects, and then I'll go to Splice, and then I'll make that white. And you see how that that kind of made it into like colorable letters. So sometimes I'll do that. And then I just finish putting the book together. Once I have my interior, then I start working on my cover file. Now for your cover file, like I said earlier, you can either hire an illustrator. I've actually used this guy on Fiverr to create a book for one of my clients, and I'll link that information below, as well as everything else that I talk about. It'll be linked in the description below as well. But if you decide you want to create your cover, then you would just go to Amazon's cover calculator, and then you would put in all your book details so that you can get your template. And once you have that template, you would just take that template. This will give you your full cover dimensions. And then you can just go ahead and start working with your cover to get it how you like. Once you have your cover all set, then you'll go ahead and download that file as a PDF file, because remember, you're going to need both files as PDF documents so that you can go ahead and start uploading it to KDP's platform. All right, and that brings us to step number 4, where you're going to take those 2 files that you have and start uploading them. Have a detailed video. I actually have 2 videos. One is an older video, and then one is if you're going to be publishing in 2024. I'll link them below, and they walk you step by step through the uploading process. But essentially what you would do is go to kdp.amazon.com, and you would just create your account. If you already use Amazon for purchasing, then you would just go ahead and click on sign in. Once you create your account and you fill out all of your account information, you would just click the create button, and then you would click on create paperback book. And then you're going to notice 3 sections. You're going to go down each section and fill out the information as far as your book title, your author name, your book description. Then it's going to ask you about your publishing rights. You're going to go ahead and select your category and your keywords, and you're just going to fill every section out. When you get to the royalty section, you're going to determine how much you want to make by putting in the list price. For example, my books are usually $9.95, so you can just play around with the amount that you may want to make. As you can see, for $9.95, I would make $2.73 royalty. If you were to do a coloring book at $10.95, you can see that the royalty would then move to $3.33. Amazon will automatically convert the prices for the other countries. Then you're gonna make sure you read over KDP terms and conditions. And I also do suggest requesting a proof copy of your book so you can hold the physical copy in your hand and see what everything actually looks like inside of the book, and just make sure you like everything and make sure there's no misspelled words if you do decide to use quotes inside of the book. Once you've submitted your book, then you're going to need to market the books. I started promoting heavily in Facebook groups when I first started. I would find groups that had my target audience, and I would show the images, and I would say, hey guys, I'm doing a new coloring book. Which 2 images do you like the best? And I would do things like that, you know, asking easy questions so that it could bring a lot of traffic to the post, and then more traffic equal more eyes, and then more eyes mean more people were interested in the book, and then more people started asking, hey girl, when is this book gonna be for sale? So that's how I started promoting in Facebook groups. And then I also started promoting on my Instagram page. With Instagram, you can use influencers. You can also do ads on Instagram. Now the main 2 social media avenues that I promote is on Instagram and also on YouTube. I have a video telling you how I have just been able to grow this channel to 5,000 subscribers. I even tell y'all how much I done made since I've been monetized. So you might want to check that video out. You're going to need to find at least one platform to start promoting your book and marketing your book, and start also building an email list. An email list is essential because you have the control over your email list. That way you'll be able to keep up with your customers. You can run sales for your customers. I know for Black Friday, I had a sale because of my email list. I didn't even do any outside marketing. I only used my email list for Black Friday, because your email list is such a powerful tool and it can continuously grow year after year. The way that you start building your email list is by creating a freebie, something that you know your audience would like for example, a free coloring sheet, or maybe a mini coloring book that you can include, that someone would go to your website, enter in their email address, and then they would get that freebie in exchange for their email address. So yeah, that is my process for creating and selling coloring books on KDP. Leave a comment letting me know if this was helpful, and also where you are in the publishing process. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And if you're finally ready to upload your coloring book to KDP's platform, then watch this video next. Until next time, bye-bye.